Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Lee and it's great to see you back. Currently, we've got the coronavirus lockdown at the moment. It's April 2020 and although it's a beautiful day outside, it's just a little bit tough out there at the moment for obviously a lot of people. So what we're going to do today, as the title says, is we're going to do a video, a very basic video on how to start up as being a mobile DJ. But why would you want to be a mobile DJ? Well, a couple of reasons. You might just have the passion that you love playing music in front of people. You might be a bit of an entertainer yourself. And it's a great way, if you've got a little bit of something about you, just to get up there, play some great music and really entertain people. And the best bit is earn some money as well. I've been doing it for about 15 years. I've written a book as well called The Working Mobile DJ, which is on Kindle, Amazon. I'll leave a link for you down below on that one. It's a really good book, well worth buying, talks you through everything. But what I want to do, as I said, is just go through the basic stuff you need: your laptop, your speakers, your controller, your headphones, your microphone, all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. And then maybe, if that goes okay, we can move into one that's probably a little bit more getting a bit deeper into it. Income wise, you're probably looking at maybe a lot of jobs that you do are sort of birthday parties, 50th, 18th, 21st, 70th, the odd weddings here and there, which I've done hundreds of weddings. Obviously the weddings are probably looking about 350, 400 pound, depending on where it is and the venue, etc. And then generally I go out for about 200 pound, which is usually typically about sort of 7:30 till 12, 12:30, possibly even 1, depending on the licensing. So, you know, the money's there. It's great money. And as I say, over the years, it's really helped me out, pulled me out through a lot of problems. If we've had a few financial difficulties, certainly having that money, maybe a couple of gigs a month, you're probably into an extra £500. So stick with it, guys. As I say, I'll leave the link down below for the book. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, guys, we're back. Right, first thing you need, I'm going to whip through these, is a laptop stand, okay? Get a good one, get a sturdy one, okay? You don't want it dropping or failing on you halfway through performance. So yeah, laptop stand is the first thing you're going to need. Right, obviously the second thing you're going to need is a good laptop, which is this, which I've got is the MacBook Pro. And it's a very good MacBook and is very capable of doing the job. Obviously different ones, Windows, whatever, just something that's good and reliable. I've got loaded onto this Tractor, which I love, Tractor Pro 2. So this is the software of my choice. There are other ones like Serato or Virtual DJ, but I prefer this one. So again, I'll go into these things probably more depth in another video. So you need a software program on this. That's the next thing you need to do. So just have a look at them. Some of them have the free trials and you know, like a 5-day free trial or whatever. And just go for, I just prefer the interface on this Tractor one. I've had it for quite a few years now. And then from there you can build in your playlist from that. Once you've got that installed, you go to iTunes, you get your songs, you drop them into these and you make your own playlist. So pretty straightforward really. So that's the next thing. Right, okay guys, here we go. Let's play being DJs. Yep, so obviously as a DJ, you're gonna need some headphones. These are the Sennheiser HD25. They're very good quality. Up to you what you do. I started off with some really cheap ones, to be honest with you. So, and then just build them up from there. But you don't need dead expensive ones. You just need to be able to hear, obviously, the audio from the other channel you're going to play or cue into or mix into. So yeah, you're going to need a set of headphones. These are about 125. You can spend, I don't know, 15 quid on some, you know, something like that. And they generally have a 3.5mm jack like that. And that just goes into your controller or your mixer or your controller. And then you can hear from which track you're going to mix to which one. All right, so that's the third thing. All right, some headphones. Don't have to be expensive, guys. All right. Right, next. Yeah, you guessed it, the microphone. Guys, if you're going to be a mobile DJ, you're going to need to be able to use one of these. As I said, I'll go into this maybe in a different thing, different video, but essentially I would recommend, no question, get a radio mic. Again, this has lasted me years. I've had it about 10 years, this one. It's absolutely superb. The actual transmitter box is looking a bit tight, but it still works. Yeah, so get a good quality one. That I would definitely say, you know, spend a few quid on that one, because that is really important. You don't want a rubbishy mic. So that's very, very important. So a wireless mic. Okay guys, this is the controller. This is my choice. It fits in, it's compatible with the Traktor program that I use, and it is a Traktor Pro 2 Control S2, and yeah, so I would highly recommend this one if you're going to use for it's about, if you're using with Traktor, it's about $250 to be honest with you. It's just a dead basic you know, controller, but it's got everything you need on it, everything you need, and really good quality, no problems at all. The only thing I would say is you need an external, don't use the microphone input on this one. Again, that's another thing, but I will go into it. But if you do buy this one, probably just put it directly to a mixer, which I'll show you. So you need one of those, and one of those is going to cost you about 250. Get them a lot cheaper, depends on your budget, but that's what you're going to need, because that's how you're going to mix your tracks in, and that will be compatible with the program that you are going to be using. So this is Traktor Control S2, and it is compatible with Traktor software that I run. So, you know, it needs to match up, otherwise it won't recognize it. So there you go, guys, you're going to need one of those. Okay, guys, yeah, so this is, as you can see, a mixer. It's a Yamaha mixer. The reason I have this mixer is because the Traktor controller is very limited. It just literally has the 2 channels. So what I do is I feed out 2 leads directly out of the back of the controller, which would normally go to the back of the speakers, and I plug them into these guys here. So kind of like they're the speakers really. And then they go out from here, these channels, into the... Why have I got one of these? Well, it's great because I've got a better EQ for the microphone channel, which I use as that one. You've got all your EQ, your high level mids, etc. I've got a dedicated one for my phone, which I plug into my phone via these 2 little guys here. Okay, and I've got a couple spare as well. Sorry, I've got 1 spare on this particular one. So if you're working with a musician or something like that, and he says, you know, can I just pop my gear into your, you know, into your mixer and run it through your PA? Sometimes that happens at weddings. If you can do it, then it's not a problem at all. But if you go for that particular one that I've said, the Traktor or similar one that's pretty limited on what it is, I would highly recommend getting a mixer like that. You can pick them up cheap, whatever. Again, quality, go for it. It's important. Sound quality is absolutely top notch. It's got to be good. So there you go. You're going to need a mixer. Not necessarily, but I would highly recommend it. Right guys, okay, we're going to need stuff to power these things up. So first thing I'd recommend, get a really long reel like that. You never know where a plug might not be where you're setting up, so that's a good one. Get that. Remember, this is basic stuff, guys, okay? You know, you just start it up. Put about 5 of those. A couple of those. And then these are what they call IEC cables, which are just your normal feed for stuff, usually for your speakers. and they usually, like I say, power your speakers up or power your lights up or whatever. So again, sometimes they come with them, but it's those, yeah. So you're probably going to need probably about, I don't know, 10 of those. They're not that expensive. What else do we have? These leads are the leads that go from, if you remember before when I said about the mixer, they go from the mixer into the back of the speaker, okay? If you're using active speakers, that's really important. If you're not, it's a different thing. I would highly recommend buying active speakers. I think the amps for speakers now are completely a little bit old hat. That's just my own view. You know, there's a lot of lugging around. You need 2 spare amps as well. Sorry, another amp in case the other one blows in mid-performance. So buy some active speaker, guys, no doubt. I'll come to that in a second. So you need quite a few of these, and get them a good length. Get them probably about 5 meters, something like that. The speakers are normally going to be pretty near you. But sometimes you could do a venue where you might need to put the speaker outside, for instance, on a patio and play some really, you know, chilled music, maybe for a wedding. And that's the beauty of the active speakers. Again, that's all in the book. So yeah, so you're gonna need, I'd probably say about, I don't know, initially probably about 5 or 6 of these. So they're just male to female XLRs, and they will feed your speakers. And then the next thing, if you do use a mixer from the one I've shown you, the tractor controller, you're going to need one of these leads, which is the HDMI, the lead, that goes, sorry, not HDMI, that the phono lead jack goes in to the tractor controller, and that goes into the mixer. So you're going to need a couple of those, basically 1 for each side, okay? I think that's about it, really. There is one other lead as well, which is here, which is going to be, okay, need one of them for your laptop. If it's a MacBook or whatever, you must power up your laptop. Really important. You don't want that dying mid-performance. And then you're going to need, I've got a little bag here, you're going to need a couple of leads, which basically, one of these is for your laptop to connect. Sorry, not for your laptop, my apologies, for your phono. If you use a phone, which I would highly recommend you do, load it up with Spotify. And the beauty about that is if somebody wants something playing, you can pretty much get it anyway. So they go into those mixer desk that I said to you, and that just goes onto the end. That's for my iPhone. And the beauty about this one is it just goes in like that. And you've also got a power supply. So basically your phone's being charged all the time as well. So every bit of aspect of your equipment is being charged, your laptop and your phone. The phone will really, really help you out. Get Spotify loaded up. Somebody comes up and asks you for a song, you can pretty much guarantee you'll have it. You know, somebody might some wild, bizarre song for grandpa or whatever, and you'll pretty much get it. So that's that. Then you need one last thing. Is you're going to need a lead like this. So this goes from the back of the controller. It's basically a printer connection cable. That goes from the back of the controller and that goes into the side of your USB port on your laptop, whichever one you go for. So that will then connect up with your laptop to your controller, so they are then talking to each other. Okay? Right guys, pretty much not far off it now, but what I would recommend you do is buy a good quality DJAY bag. This will carry basically your controller, which is in there somewhere, and your leads, your microphone, your headphones, all that sort of stuff. It's all going to be in there. And then you're going to need a bag for your leads, which are your IEC cables, your power cables, and all the various extensions, etc. So yeah, just get yourself a couple of bags. Again, whatever, just, you know, it's not a massive big deal about that one. And then yeah, then you're all good and portable. To thing, or one of the most important things, your speakers. So I would highly recommend you spend as much money as you can do on your speakers. There's some really good makes out there, RCF, Mackie, various other ones, some new ones, Yamaha series, etc. I personally use the RCF 8s. I don't know if you can see them there. Sorry, they're not the 8s, these are the 5s. I did have the 8s. And they're absolutely superb. And what happens is with these is they're what they call an active speaker. So if you remember before, you plug your mains cable into there. I don't know if you can see it. And then because this basically here is the amp really. So it's got a bass booster if you want, but it's pretty straightforward really. So that just goes out. You can link them up to other speakers if you want, you know, if you need to do, and that just goes out straight into your mixer. Excellent quality. Be honest with you, they're not cheap, but these are what they call line array speakers. So they're actually, as you can see, they're stood up, sort of like that. So you've got your treble section and you've got your bass here. So it's all kind of like one thing. I'm not a big fan of poles and speakers on poles. That's up to you. The only other option you could go down, which I'm not keen on, is an amp with some speakers as well. But these days I just go for an active speaker, to be honest with you. And if you need to put them on the poles, the Behringer ones are really good. Just to get you going. Can pick some used ones up, you know, whatever. But yeah, just spend what you can do on the speakers. Okie dokie guys, right, DJ won't be a DJ and a disco won't be a disco without some lights. I have a bit of a thing on this. A lot of times you'll go into a venue, especially if you're doing a wedding, and you will literally have about half an hour, 40 minutes if you're lucky. Okay, so you might have seen some of these wedding vlogs from predominantly American DJs usually, where they've got huge loads of gear. My view, you just don't need it, as long as it looks nice and neat. And I'll show you the cover I use at the front of the booth. That's absolutely fine. Speed is of the essence. Quality of sound and music is absolutely of the essence. But being able to be ready when the manager comes over to you, or if that's a wedding and said, are you ready to DJ Lee? And you go, yeah, that's fine. So for that reason, on the lights, I love using these. Okay, I've literally got a stand there. Obviously they're low at the moment, I've just set them up. These are the Charvet 4-play, as in 4. And basically they're absolutely superb. They're really powerful lights. You can DMX them out. They do the job. They cover big venues. I don't DMX at all. They just run sound to light. And they're absolutely fantastic. And you literally just lift the whole thing up like that. I can't do it now because of the bolts in the back, but you lift the whole thing up and you fold it and you put it in your bag. So absolutely highly recommend that. And I've got the old girl here, which I've been using. I used to have 2 of these. And this one is this guy here, Vertigo Hex LED. One of these, and this goes behind, which I'll show you in a second, the facade at the front, which is like it's like a cover to cover up all your leads and just make it look nice. This, God, if it was on, I don't know, 10 quid if you're lucky or something, brand new, obviously a lot more. The 4-play in the background, those guys, they're probably about 100, I think, probably about those, I would have thought. But again, you could probably pick them up cheap. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I use. And I usually just put them at the side and angle them onto the dance floor, because you can alter them here, up and down, to the side, whatever you want. But they're absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've done quite a few gigs at Hilton in Blackpool in the big room there, and they've covered that no problem at all. So you don't, honestly, you don't need banks of lights. You know, with these DJ booths, and you see them all, and they've got lasers. It takes ages to set those things up, literally ages. And as I said, guys, you know, sometimes you've got an hour, if you're lucky, 45 minutes. You've got to get in there, get your PA set up, get your music coming out of the speakers, make sure your audio's coming out, and then you can put on your lights and go to work on your lights. So that's it. I'm just going to give you now the DJ booth that I use, or the screen, and then hopefully we've covered every point. I'll see you in a tick. Okay, here we go. So last thing, guys, here we go, which is the what we call a DJ Equinox foldable screen. I did have two other bits with this one, but basically, you know, your setup needs to look nice. So it needs to look nice and tidy. Obviously behind there's loads and loads of leads. So just, you know, get something like that, you know, black cloth or anything when you originally start out, and just make sure it looks really neat. But that is a nice finishing touch. Really lightweight, dead easy to carry, and that's it. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember, it's a very basic introduction as to what you need to start off DJing, but it will start you off. If you've been happy with it, you know, it'd be great if you put some comments in. I would like to do a video on basically once you've got your gear and your songs together, you know, getting the work, and I can give you some good tips on that one. So yeah, that's definitely in the running for the next video, is actually getting out there. But initially, just get your gear, practice. There's loads of stuff on YouTube, obviously. But as I said, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. If you liked it, like and subscribe, the usual thing. See you later.